arguments, actual arguments. Then arguments divided into 4 categories. The first category, positioning argument. Second category, default argument. Third category is variable length argument. Like total 4 categories are there. In this session, we are going to discuss 4 questions. The first one, you can see the left hand side questions. Can we define function in another function? That is the first question. Can we define function in another function definition? There are 2 steps to implement functions in Python. Step 1, define the function. Step 2, call the function. All of you know how to define the function. To define the function, we use a keyword called def followed by function name, open parenthesis, the list of arguments, close parenthesis, colon, followed by the function statements are there. To call the function, we use function name followed by open parenthesis, then the list of arguments, close parenthesis. Here the question is, all of you know how to define the function, how to call the function. Here the question is, can we define a function in another function definition? That is the first question. Second question, can we call function in another function definition? Please try to understand these 2 questions. Can we define a function in another function definition? Second question, can we call a function in another function definition? Third one, can we call function in another function call? Fourth question, can we call same function within the function definition? All of you try to understand these 4 questions. In this session, we are going to discuss in detail regarding these 4 questions only. Now we can see one example here, left hand side. In the left hand side, we can see this is the first program. There are 2 functions. The first function is sample1, second one is sample2. This is sample1 definition, this is sample2 definition. Then we are calling sample1 here, then we are calling sample2 here. This is the regular program. Sample1, sample2, this is sample1 definition, this is sample2 definition, this is sample1 call, this is sample2 call. Now you can see here. How many functions are there here? In the right hand side, here you can see f space sample1. The first function is sample1. How many statements are there in sample1? How many statements are there in sample1? See, the first statement is print this is sample1. Then you can see sample1 definition consists of one more definition, because sample2 definition belongs to sample1, because you can see the indentation. It starts with here, print this is sample1. This statement belongs to sample1, followed by there is one more statement. This is sample2 function, def space sample2. Then you can see sample2 indentation start with here. Sample1 indentation start with here. Now we can see here sample1. Here you can see the first question, can we define a function in another function definition? That means sample2 defined in sample1 definition. Please try to understand. Sample2 is a function definition that is defined in sample1. That means one function is defined in another function definition. Now, here I am calling sample 1. Can I call sample 2? Can I call sample 2?
No.
Yes, right. I'm going to type the program here. You can see sample 1 print statement. This is sample 1 function. Then I'm going to define a new function in sample 1. EF sample 2. Again indentation. Print. This is sample 2 function. Now, next line I'm calling function sample 1. You can see here, this is sample 1 definition. Then we are calling sample 1. Within sample 1 definition, we define another function that is called sample 2. If I call sample 1, is the definition executed or not? That is my question. If I call sample 1, is that sample 2 definition executed or not? That is my question. You can run the code. Yes, it's displaying only one line. This is sample 1 function. But sample 2 definition not executed. May I know the reason? May I know the reason? Why the sample 2 definition not executed? That is my question. But sample 2 defined in sample 1. Some part of the sample 1 is executed, but some part is not executed. May I know the reason?
We didn't call sample 2, so that's why.
That is the basic and fundamental point. If you want to run any definition, we should call. Then only the definition executed. See here, the definition is there. Let us take one example. You remove this code. Is that sample 1 executed or not? No, because the definition is there, the definition is compiled. But when the code is executed, when we call the function, then only the definition executed. Now, here we'll write def sample 2 colon print. This is sample 2 function. Next line, we are going to call sample 1. Now, only sample 1 executed. Sample 2 is not executed. If I write here sample 2, now will it be executed or not? Sample 2.
No, sir.
Okay, right. This code will display syntax error. Why this code will display syntax error? That is my question.
Sample 2 is built in sample 1, so that's why.
Okay, sample 2 built in sample 1. Okay, right. That is one point.
Sir, sample 2 follows sample 1 indentation, sir.
Okay, shall I keep here indentation? See, for call, we need not use indentation.
No,
That-
sir, I'm saying here up means sample 2
We
is
should call
defined
it inside the
corner.
parentheses, sir.
See, sample 2 is the definition. Defined in where? sample 1, right? If I start here, then only I can say sample 2 belongs to sample 1. If I start here, then these two are different. Sample 1 is one function definition, sample 2 is another function definition, then we are calling sample 1, then we are calling sample. Then both are executed. But the question is, in case sample 2 is part of sample 1.
Still it will execute, sir.
Huh?
Still it will execute.
Displaying syntax. You can see here. I can see here displaying syntax error. Why displaying syntax error?
Sample 2 is not defined.
That means,
First we have to call sample 1, sir.
see, here there is a fundamental rule. Definition call should be in one block only. Whenever we define a function, we can call the function within the block. Now you can see here, sample 1, if I write here before sample 1, both are in same block or different block?
Same
Both
block.
are. But now you can see sample 2 here. This is another block. This is the block of sample 1. But can I call sample 2 outside the block? In the last class, we discussed about local variable, global variable. What is local variable? The variable declared and initialized inside the definition is called local variable. Otherwise, the variable is called global variable. But what is the difference between local and global variable? The local block can access global variable. The local block can access global variable, right? But the global block cannot access local variable. Please try to understand. The local block can access global variable, but the global block cannot access the local variable. Like that, sample 1. This is definition, this is call. Both indentation is same. That means we can call here. But now we can see here, sample 2 started here. But here we are calling sample 2 here. Indentation is different. This is one block. This is another block. Sample 2 is in local block, but call is in global block. We cannot call. Okay, right. Now you take another example here. Now, will it work? Will it work now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Because now, if I call sample 1, the control go to sample 1 definition. The first statement, print this is sample 1 function. Second statement, sample 2 definition. Third statement, we are calling sample 2 definition. We are calling. The definition is defined inside the block. It will execute the block automatically. Now the output is, this is sample 1, this is sample 2. Okay, now, if I write sample 1 here, will it be executed or not?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Will it be executed?
No,
Yes.
sir.
See, This is definition. Okay. This is call. Both are in same block. If I call, the control go to definition. All three statements are executed. Now you can see here. It will go to infinity loop. May I know the reason? It will go to infinity loop. May I know the reason?
Recursion, sir.
Recursion. Okay? Right. Now, did you understand this program, all of you? Can we define a function in another function or not? Is it possible or not? Can we define a function in another function definition? Yes, it is possible. Here, one important point. If you take C, C++, Java, it is not possible. It is not possible in C, C++, Java. But if you take a Python, you can define a function in another function definition. All of you note down this point. This is very, very important point for Python. There are two steps: function definition, function call. You can define a function in another function definition, but here the condition is we should call the function within the definition. We should not call outside the definition. Please note down this point. We can define a function in another function definition, but we can call only within the definition, but we cannot call outside the definition. Right. Now you can see the second question. Can we call function in another function definition? Can we call function in another function definition? That means there are two functions, sample1, sample2. This is one definition. This is second definition. These two are the calls. Now the question is, can I call sample1 in sample2? Can I call sample2 in sample1 definition? Can I call sample1 in sample2 definition? Yes.
Yes.
We can call function in another function definition. Now you can take another example. Now we take this example. Now sample1 definition, sample2 definition. Take sample1 definition. In the sample1 definition, one statement is we are calling sample2. Come to sample2 definition, one statement is we are calling sample. Could you guess the output of this code? First, which line is executed? Here. It will compile the code, it will not execute the code, it will compile sample2, it will not execute the code. Come to call. Then this call executed, then the control go to sample1 definition. This is sample1 function. Then what it does? It will go to, this is call. It will go to sample2 definition. Again, this is sample2 function. Again go to the statement, sample1. Again we are calling sample1.
You'll handle infinite loops.
Go to again definition. Again, this is sample1 function. Again, sample2. Control come to here. Again, this is sample2 function. Again, we are calling sample1. Again, control come to here. Could you guess the output? It will
Infinite.
Infinite
this
loops.
is sample1 function, sample2 function. It will go to infinity loop. Let us take one example here. If I skip this line, what will happen?
Sample1, sample2, sample2.
Right. This is sample1. Okay. This is sample2. This is sample2 function. I will execute the code here. You can see. Now, here I'm going to call sample2. Then I'm calling sample1, sample2 functions. If you run this code, now we are calling sample 1, control come to sample 1 definition. This statement executed, then go to next statement, sample 2. We are calling sample 2, control come to this definition. This is sample 2 function. Again, control come back to where? The calling function. Then sample 2, control go to where? Sample 2, this is sample 2 function. Again, control come back to where? Sample 2 function. The program is end. The output is, this is sample 1 function, this is sample 2 function, this is sample 2 function. Now, if I write here sample 1, what is the output now? What is the output now? It will go to infinity loop. Now you can see here. Run the code. Now you can see here. First, this is sample 1, sample 2, sample 1, sample 2. Because first, this statement executed, come to here. Again, sample 2, control come to here. Again, sample 1, control come to here. Repeat the process. It will go to infinity loop. Right? Next question. What is the next question? Can we call function in another function call? Can we call function in another function call? Please try to understand. This point is related to only the function call. Here there is no function definition. Can we call one function in another function call? That means as a parameter. Now you can check one example here. Now, what is add? Add is a function. What is sub? Subtraction is a function, right? What the add function does? Return x plus y. What subtraction function does? Return x minus y. Now, we are calling add 2, 3, subtraction 5, 2. Again, we are calling add. This add function takes two parameters. The first parameter is add of 3, 4. Second parameter is add of 4, 6. Here there is syntax error, add of 4, 6. Is that statement is correct or not?
Correct, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is correct. Now I'm going to execute this code here. Add, it takes two parameters, x comma y, indentation, return x plus y. I'm going to define new function sub p comma q, right? Return p minus q. Then I'm calling one function a equal to add 2, 3. Then print a. Then b equal to sub 6, 4. Then print b. Print b. Then c equal to add, open short bracket, add 2, 3, comma, sub 6, 4. Print c. What is the output of this program? What is the output of A? What is the value of A? 5. What is the value of B?
5.
2. C equal to
2.
add function takes two parameters. The first parameter, return value of this call. What is the return value of this call? Second parameter is return value of 6, 4. What is the return value of sub 6, 4? 2. Now, this function takes two parameters. What are the parameters? 5, 2. What is the output?
7.
7. What is the output total now? 5 to 7.
7.
Run the code here. 5 to 7. Is it clear, all of you? We can call function in another function call. Generally, we can take one more example. X equal to into input of enter the number. X. Now here, what we are doing here? What is input? Input is a function. Int is a function. But for int function, the input parameter is input function. For int function, the input parameter is int function. Input function, the input parameter is the string, enter the number. If I run this code, what will happen? It will display 10. Why display 10? Now here, this function call is input to this function. So we can call one function in another function call. That means we are calling input function in input function call. Please try to understand. We are calling input function in input function call because input is a system defined function. All system defined functions are defined by system called by user. Here also we are calling function input function. Okay, these two are system defined functions. That is the third point. We can call function in another function call. But one important point here, in C, C++, Java and other programming languages, we cannot define a function in another function definition. But in Python, we can define a function in another function definition. Second point, we can call a function in another function definition. Third point, we can call a function in another function call. Fourth point, you can see. We can call same function within the definition. Is it possible or not? We can call same function within the definition. That means you can take one example here. Example 1, indentation, print. This is sample 1. Then we are calling same function here, sample 1. What is the output of this program? What is the output of this program? Will it display any error?
Infinitely.
Sure. Will it go to infinite loop? First you check.
No, sir.
Is the definition executed or not? No. See, run the code, there is no output. See, if you run this code, there is no output because this definition not executed. Now, here you can write one more statement. We are calling here. What is the output now? What is the output now?
Infinite.
It will go to infinite loop. Now you can run the code. You can see here. It will go to infinite loop. It will print continuously sample 1 function. Because we are calling here, control go to here. Again, this is sample 1 function. Again calling, control come to here. Again print, this is sample 1 function. Again control come to here. Repeat the process. For that reason, it will go to infinite loop. It will display, this is sample 1 function. Here one important point. Recursion. Recursion means the function calling itself is called recursion. Recursive function. In case the function calling itself is called recursive function. Now, in this context, sample one is recursive function. This function calling same function within the definition. Now, the sample one is called recursive function. The function calling itself is called recursive function. Now, I am going to write a new program here to find the factorial of a given number. Fact n. Okay, right here. If n equal to 0 and n equal to 1, return 1, else return n star of n. When we are calling the function is fact of 5. What is the output of this program? What is the output of this program?
Sir,
Errors.
Yes, right. It display error. Why display error? After else there is no indentation, right? We kept the indentation now. What is the output?
5 into factor of 5.
What is the output?
Infinite. It will stop.
We take one number x equal to fact of 5.
Sir, in return, you have to write n times fact n minus 1.
Okay, just wait. First you see this code.
It will crash the program.
What is the output of this code? Why it is not displaying?
Sir, we have not defined function, means we have not called function, sir. We have not called function.
Are we calling the function or not here?
No.
No, sir.
Function or not?
No, sir, we are not calling.
Where?
X is equal to
What is this? Fact of 5. What we call this line? See, is it called function call or not? That is my question.
yes, sir. It is.
Huh? Right. This is function call only. Right. What happened? So if we call the function, okay, what is the parameter? 5. The control go to where? Definition. This call returns some value. That value is stored into where? X. Right. Now 5 is copied to where? N. Now if n double equal to 0, sorry, this is the problem. 0 or n equal to 1. Why displaying 120? Why displaying 120? Now the 5 is copied to where? N. Value of n equal to 5. N equal to 0 or n equal to 1. True or false? False. Control come to here. Return 5 into fact n minus 1. What is fact n minus 1? 5 minus
Fact of 4.
4. That means again we are calling function here with n value equal to 4. Now the control come to here again. N equal to 4. Condition false, control come to here. What it written here? Already here 5 is there. 5 into now
4 into fact of 3.
4 into fact of 3. Again control come to here. Fact of 3. That means 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into last one is 1. Return which one? 1. Now it will return 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. That value is stored into where? X. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 equal to 120. That is stored into X. Print X equal to 120. This is called recursive function. So we are calling this function within the definition is called recursive function. Okay, now you can see here n into fact of n minus 1. How to find the n factorial? N factorial equal to n into n minus 1 factorial. Again, n minus 1 factorial equal to n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 factorials. We can apply the same condition here. Okay, here we are calling. Whenever you call a function, it will return here only. Okay, finally n equal to 1, return 1, then return 2, return 3, return 4, return 5. So count the value 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, that value is put into X, print X, the output equal to 120. This is called recursive function. Here one important point, the function calling itself is called recursion. What is the recursive function? The function calling itself is called recursive function. Now you can take this example here. Sample 1 calling sample 2. Now sample 1 is not recursive function. Sample 2 calling sample 1, not recursive function. But sample 2 calling sample 2, then it is called recursive function. Is it clear? Any questions regarding these 4 questions? Can we define a function in another function definition? Second question, can we call function in another function definition? Can we call function in another function call? Fourth one, can we call same function within the definition? Yes, we can call that function is called recursive function. Any questions regarding these 4 points regarding functions? Now I can summarize the functions now. Function, what is function? A self-contained block, perform some task, return some value. A self-contained block, perform some task, return some value. There are 2 types of functions: system-defined functions, user-defined functions. System-defined functions are defined by system, called by user. User-defined functions are defined by user, called by user. Here one important point. If you take user-defined functions, there are 4 types of user-defined functions. Please note down this point. There are 4 types of user-defined function. The first one, define function without parameters. Second type is define function with parameters. Third one, define function without return statement. Fourth one, define statement, define function with return statement. These are the 4 categories in user-defined function. Define function without parameter. Define function with parameter. Third one, define function without return statement. Fourth category, define function with return statement. One important point here, if you don't write return statement in any function definition, it will return one default value that is called none. Please note down this point. If you write a function without return type, it will return a default value that is called none. Okay? There are 4 types of user-defined functions. Defined function without parameter, defined function with parameter, defined function without return statement, defined function with return statements. Then come to arguments. The variables or values listed inside the parenthesis is called arguments. There are 2 types of arguments, actual arguments, formal arguments. The variables listed inside the function definition is called formal arguments. The variables or values listed inside the function call is called actual arguments. Arguments are divided into 4 categories. Positioning arguments. What order we pass the values, it will copy the same order. That is called positioning argument. Second one is keyword arguments. We can change the order by using a keyword. Keyword is nothing but the name of the argument. Third one is we can skip some arguments in case the argument is having some default value. That is called default argument. Fourth point is we can pass n number of arguments. That is called variable number of arguments. Then recursive function. The function calling itself is called recursive function. Any questions? Any questions? What are the advantages of functions? What are the advantages of functions?
Reusability of code.
Okay. One is code reusability. How many ways we can achieve the code reusability? Do you know what is code reusability? Reuse the same code multiple times. That is called code reusability. Code reusability minimize the duplication of the code. How many ways we can achieve reusability in Python? Yes, anybody? How many ways we can achieve the code reusability? We can reuse the same code multiple times. How many ways?
Functions,
Function is one concept. Second one,
class,
even we can use looping. No?
excuse me, sir.
We can achieve the code reusability. We can use functions,
Loops.
use loops. We can achieve the code reusability. Okay, right. Any advantage of functions? Any advantage of functions?
They keep the code organized.
Okay. We can organize the code. That means we can divide the code into multiple blocks. We can assign name to each block, that is called function. Let us take one example. You want to make a software for Iqfitech. Iqfitech is having multiple functions. The functions are registration, academics, research. Like there are multiple functions out there. Instead of keeping the complete code in one area, I can divide the code into multiple functions. You write some code in one function, that is called research. You write second code in another function, that is called registration. Like we can implement modularization by using functions. We can divide the code into multiple modules. Each module we can run independently. That is called function. Any other advantage of functions? Reusability, readability, modularization. Third one is easily we can debug the code. Let us take some area there is error. We can go to that function. We can modify that function only. Need not check the complete code. Easily we can debug the code. Easily can modify the code by using functions. Like there are many advantages of functions. Right. Now, questions. Any questions? Yes. Any questions? No questions? See, you have the syllabus for test 2 up to functions. Control statements, it consists of if statement, if else, if elif also. Apart from that, two loop statements, while loop, for loop. Apart from, again we have the syllabus functions also. Total 3 concepts: looping, conditional statements, functions. This is the syllabus for test 2 examination. Test examination is scheduled on 30th of this month.
So, sir, after syllabus completed after test 1 and up to test 2, no, sir? Means this
Right,
function.
okay.
Okay, sir.
After test 1 syllabus, you take only 3 topics for test 2. The first topic is if statement. Second topic is loops, while loop, for loop. Third topic is functions. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Right. Any other questions? Any other questions? See, you're not asking questions yet. Okay. I will close the session. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.